Welcome back to the Bazaar. I'm Inko, and it's time to cover the first hotfix of Season 4. Let's get right into it. There's some fairly huge changes here, not just nerfs to new cards that were much needed. First up, they've actually fixed a bug with the temple where it gave less experience than it should due to how they reworked monster XP in the previous patch. That's just a bug fix, good to have it. Next up, a huge deal. Anyone who's enjoying all the Sterling upgrades they've been getting the previous day, we're done with that. B1 and B2 as well as Sterling are both single spawn. Once you pick them up, they won't show up again. So you get one B1 and B2, you get one Sterling. You're not going to have those runs where you hit like 4 Sterlings and it's just ridiculous anymore. And that wouldn't be as big of a deal if it weren't for the next thing we're talking about. At level 4, I don't know why it says level 3 rewards. It's like when you level up to level 4, when you finish level 3. Regardless, this is level 4 and 7, not level 3 and 6. This is not how I interpret it, but like Pip's not available when you hit level 3, is available when you hit level 4. Regardless of that minutia, at level 4, you would pretty much never click Pip and take a bronze skill. You almost always upgraded a bronze item to silver. So I'd say like 95 out of 100 runs or something, this doesn't change anything. And in the remaining runs, it's a very slight nerf, not a big deal. What's a huge deal is they did the opposite at level 7. You no longer have a guaranteed gold upgrade at level 7 about halfway through the run. Considering how massive that upgrade is for a huge number of items, and the fact that you might just not be able to turn your build around. Like imagine you're playing, like look at Mac. Imagine you're playing Quest Mac or Femur Mac, and you cannot guarantee you go to gold. And you're just stuck playing Silver Femur for like 4 extra days. This is tremendously meta changing. It results in a much higher variance from run to run. I'm not sure I like this change at all. Regardless though, the change has happened. It's here now, time to learn the new meta. Next up, there's +1 XP at the start of each run. I think we were leveling up slightly later on Season 4 than we were on Season 3, so this just puts us back to where we were on Season 3. And they removed the tester, whatever that was, from Vanessa's encounter pool. Moving into item changes, they have slightly buffed Welding Torch and Chem Snail. That's good. Those cards were like pretty terrible. They weren't well off, so it's nice to see them buffed. Moving down to Vanessa, Shot Glasses gets a pretty gutting change, losing an ammo at all tiers. I think it'll survive, but that is massively worse, especially in the early game. I cannot overstate how much that hurts it at silver. At gold and diamond, especially diamond, or once you find extra ammo, it's not a huge deal. But Shot Glasses are a lot harder to use than they were previously. Next up, Holster starts at gold tier now. This will make it a lot harder to find. That's the main impact of this. But also previously, you would hold them for a while looking for buffs off rocket boots at Curio. You'd be able to find upgrades for them over the course of a run more reliably to get them to 2 and 3 seconds, whereas getting them to 2 seconds at all now is much, much harder. This is a fairly substantial nerf to holsters. Powder Keg actually got the nerf that was on its tooltip. It wasn't actually implemented previously. Oni Mask is seeing a nerf to 33% of its scaling value, as well as a 25% longer cooldown. It's getting nerfed pretty substantially, but it's not the biggest nerfs that Vanessa is seeing. Hoverboard lost its cooldown reduction entirely in exchange for getting more flat damage, although I will note the double 40 damage bayonet at silver is so much flat damage that this will actually kind of run the early game now. This is genuinely a buff at silver tier in the early game. Grazina Crest had its crit chance value gutted pretty severely at higher ranks. It previously scaled 10% base up 10% per tier. Now it's 10% base up 5% per tier. Dart Launcher got nerfed to silver tier and like, good. Thank you. Presumably that means that it's going to slow 1, 2, 3 now. It's not just the same stuff we saw before. Dart Launcher was wildly out of line with Grappling Hook. It's still tremendously better than Grappling Hook with the tier adjustment, but it was wildly out of line compared to any similar item previously, right? In a weapon spam build that didn't care about ammo or crits, it was a revolver that slowed your opponent's entire board and poisoned. In a slow build, it was a faster Grappling Hook by far. It was so out of line with other items Vanessa had. Moving into Pig, premium Piggles have been reworked. Their enchants now spawn enchanted Piggles, and those Piggles are spawned at the start of each day as opposed to when you win a fight. They're also fairly substantially nerfing it to a 4-second cooldown. Speaking of, Pin FT is going to 3 seconds on its cooldown, which is pretty rough. Additionally, all of the premium Piggles are seeing a 1-second cooldown increase, and the burn Piggle specifically is now half value scaling, so it's dealing half the burn that it used to. These are fairly tremendous nerfs to the premium Piggles. And speaking of tremendous nerfs, Money Furnace got redesigned to the item that was previewed. Maybe the numbers are different. Now every time you start a fight, spend 8, 6, or 4 gold to increase the value by 4. So you basically have to meta scale it because that's not going to be anywhere near enough to scale it up to be a really threatening card. This is like playable. It's fine. It's not a big deal. It's not Orange Julian, but it burns instead of buffing your cards, right? It was literally Orange Julian and Pig, but instead of buffing other items, it just inflicted lethal burn instantly. It was completely, just absolutely stupid. Speaking of, Tournament Arena was immediately nerfed to Diamond. They removed the toy spotting on it. What a surprise. I'm shocked, I tell you, shocked. Piggle's Launcher also received a 1-second cooldown. Honestly, I'm surprised they're nerfing Piggle's Launcher. A lot of other toy stuff is taking nerfs, and Piggle's Launcher was like, at best, the third most powerful item on any board I saw it on. And usually I was seeing way more threatening boards that abandoned Piggle's Launcher and just made infinite combos. But all the same, it's nerfed now. Not sure if it needed it, we'll get to see in the future. As for the rest of the changes, the other changes for Moon Orb and Lunchbox, those weren't supposed to be in the game, not a big deal. Big deal though, Upgrade Hammer is no longer a loot item. Honestly, that's probably for the best. That makes it incredibly hard to get. I'm not even sure where you can get it from now that like loot items and boomerangs and the new supply cache skill don't apply to it. But yeah, it was such an insane high roll, right? If you picked up a diamond upgrade hammer as opposed to like a diamond scrap, those were not even remotely close. So I'm glad to see that stop being a loot item, if only because it was so disproportionately powerful compared to all the other ones. And lastly, they cut supply cache in half. This is the new skill that gives you a same tier loot item at the start of each day. Previously, it gave you 2 of them, which was insane. It was just incredible economy, huge upside. It was probably one of the strongest skills in the game if you got it even remotely early. At bronze, it obviously wasn't that crazy, but as soon as you got to silver tier and it started giving you ammo, experience, and cooldown reduction, it was completely cracked. Anyways, that's it for the hotfix. I've got to say, I'm really not too sure about this change. That makes the game way more random, way more volatile, and it does sort of target the nerf specifically at a couple of important cards, say the newly nerfed shot glasses that you cannot guarantee you take them to gold now, any quest item on Mac, Magnus's femur, there's tons more. Those are the ones that immediately come to mind. I'm really hoping they revert this because that feels very bad to me. Like, I know it's not the intention of these changes, but taking them together, instead of guaranteeing you get an upgrade at level 6, now you randomly upgrade something when Sterling shows up and hopefully it works out for you, right? It's just the same system, but tremendously more random at the cost of an hour. And I know that's not how it's intended. That's not like a conscious change done to the game, but that is the effect of the changes cumulatively. I don't, why? Why? Everyone was having a blast upgrading everything, and now we lose the upgrades we've always had to make room for Sterling. And it's like, I think everyone would rather have a guaranteed gold item every run than Sterling might show up. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. But aside from that, great patch. I really liked everything here. I am glad to see Tournament Arena and Money Furnace immediately getting gutted. And I look forward to seeing how the meta might start shaking out now that some of the most egregious outliers have been brought back in line. Having just scrolled through the patch notes from BazaarDB.gg, I can say that nothing got left out of the hotfix notes this time, so that's fantastic. Good job, dev team. And that's it for the video then. Thank you for your time, and I'll see you in the next one. Maybe I'll see you out there on the Bazaar. And I always forget in these videos, but you can sub to the channel for more daily Bazaar content just like this. And if you could drop a like on the video, it really does help it get more traction, help the channel grow, and I really do appreciate it. Anyways, bye for real.